Good morning, everyone, and welcome to From Success to Significance, How to Design the Good Life webinar, which is hosted by L3. During the discussion, all participants' lines will be muted. If you will be using your telephone line to ask a question, you may press 01 on your telephone keypad, and your question will be answered in the order it was received. As a reminder, today's conference is being recorded. And now, without further delay, I'll turn your call over to Mr. Danny Bejarano, Chairman of the Enrichment Committee.
Thank you, Michelle, and welcome to all participants at Ko Chang's webinar on how to move from success to significance, how to design the good life. Ko Chang is a fellow member of the L3, but will be addressing us as one of the elders. He was born in Macau in 1943, attended the St. Stephen's College in Stanley, obtained his first degree from the California State University at Humboldt, and then attended the Stanford University's executive program, and finally obtained a Master's of Fine Arts from the Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology University in 2005. Ko Chang was a co-founder of DHL International in 1972 and built the company in one of the leading global logistics companies. Aged 52, he stepped down from day-to-day management of the company and subsequently sold his shares. He's a member, or was a member, of the Hong Kong Trade Development Council, the Hong Kong Tourism Board, is the Deputy Chairman of the Ocean Park, Deputy Chairman of the Hong Kong Management Association, and Chairman of the Hong Kong Art Center. He's a member of the Board of Trustees of the Hoover Institute at Stanford University and the founding chairman of the Hong Kong Documentary Archive at that Hoover Institute. Retirement has allowed Mr. Chang to refine the process for understanding, designing, and creating and managing his life, and let him pursue the things he's passionate about, which include social entrepreneur, philanthropist, painter, author, and professor. To raise the consciousness of the third age and help third agers explore their new life purpose, the Good Life Initiative Foundation, which he also founded, holds its workshops on a regular basis. First seminar was held in April of 2007, and subsequent seminars were very, very well received. We're fortunate to have Ko Chang address us today as part of our Talk with Elders program, and I'm delighted to introduce Ko Chang to you. Please, Paul, proceed.
Thank you, Danny. Good evening or good morning, everyone. I'm very excited about being able to speak to you, and I have never done this because I have my earphone on and I feel like a DJ with no music. So I have to provide my own music. This is what I'm going to walk you through and explain to you actually is a one-day workshop shrunk into a one-hour talk. The part that we took out is the example of my own life transition, which I have to say is the most interesting part. However, what we have left is more of the principles and the theories. Therefore, the talk is all theory and no example. However, I trust our discussion at the end will make up for the flair. So let's go to the first slide. The title of my talk is From Success to Significance. This title is not new to you because it's on the banner of WTO website. I just borrow it, but what I added to it is how to design the good life. It's not a good life, but the good life. And the good life is, you will see that why it is the good life and how we define the good life. I usually start with a story of a guy who died when he was like 65, and then he went to heaven, and God and St. Peter met him at the door, and God said to him, you have to go back. No, we say, God said to him, I have something, like some good news and some bad news. And the guy say, give me the good news. He say, I am giving you 30 more years. And then the guy say, what do I do with that 30 years? And God say, that is the bad news. So most of us will live to be 95 or even to 100. And those of us who are like myself is in our 60s will have 30 more years to go. And then it is much better if we can have a way of figuring out what we should do with the with that 30 years. My talk is divided into 5 parts. The first part is on understanding. Second is on picking spots. Part 3 is on redesigning, finding the good life purpose. Part 4 is navigating through your transition. And then number 5 is creating and managing the rest of your life. Stephen Covey say, first seek to understand. And then this is Wolfgang Goethe say again in his 10 Lessons from the Future is, with understanding, you can design and create your future. And I found that very true. And those are steps that we have to go through. A lot of us just go directly into creating your project, creating your life, and creating your future. But actually, by going through the extra step of understanding it and then designing it before you create it, can avoid a lot of mistakes and a lot of mal-design steps in our life. So, there are 5 steps to 5 understandings. The first understanding is there are 3 stages of life. The first stage is when we are 4 years old to when we are 17 if you don't go to university, 22 if you go to university, and 24 if you go to master's degree. That's the stage of learning how to make a good life, good living. Right? And then the second part is where most YPOers is at right now, and some of us is getting to the end of that, is making a good living. Then when we are about 65, most of us want to know what's next, or some of us has already moved into the next. And then the third age, which is a very common term now, the third age is living a good life. That's understanding number 1. Understanding number 2, the second part of understanding number 1 is, well, what is a good life? I took this from a book by Leader and Shapiro, and it's called Repacking Your Bag. They say a good life is live where you belong, with the people you love, doing the right things on purpose. That is a good life. Understanding number 2. Our forefathers used to live to about 65. And then they play, and they work until they're 55. They live to 65. With that 10 years, they play with their grandkids, and then nature take care of them. However, in Hong Kong, even in Hong Kong today, the average life now is 78 years for men and 78.5 years for women. Now, that's average. That means some of us that is in the middle upper class and actually our position in in society has a very definite relationship to the length of our life. That means the better we live, the longer we live. And by the time actually we reach 75, the life expectancy